that is equality for athletes. Making the team. The buzzer reverberated through the gym. Reverberated means it kind of shook. It was real loud throughout the gym. Melanie collapsed on the floor, thankful it was finally the end of practice. She sat down on the floor and grabbed her bottle of water, taking large gulps to help satisfy her thirst. She loved playing basketball, but she was always hot and thirsty at the end of a long practice. She tried to explain to her mother on the car ride home that yes, she was tired, but it was a good feeling. It felt like she worked hard and accomplished something important. She knew that with each practice she was getting better, and so was the team. She felt certain they would have another winning season this year. Melanie's mother turned the air conditioning up for her daughter and handed her some more water while they were stopped at a red light. When the light turned green, she expertly guided the car down the road as she began to speak. You know, Melanie, there is one other special thing about your practice. What's that, Mom? Melanie asked. You get to have practice and to do it in a facility that is equal to that of the boys. Your grandmother wanted to play basketball but when she was a young girl, but they didn't have a girls' team. Your grandmother says everyone would tell the girls there simply wasn't enough money for both boys and girls to be able to have teams. Melanie's mouth dropped open in surprise. But that's not fair. Why should the boys get the money and the girls be ignored? Luckily, her mother began, other people felt the same as you. Congress actually had to step in and make sure that money was spent equally for both boys and girls when schools provided sports opportunities. So did it happen in time for grandmother to ever get to play? Melanie's mother smiled. The next time you're near the trophy case in the gym, look carefully at the names engraved on them. You might just see a name you recognize. Okay, now equality for athletes. The United States of America is a democracy. This type of government entitles its citizens to have certain freedoms and rights. These freedoms and rights are guaranteed for American citizens in the Bill of Rights. The Bill of Rights is exactly what its name implies. It is a written bill or document that guarantees the people who are citizens of the United States that they will have their rights protected by the government. Some of the rights many people are familiar with include freedom of speech, freedom to practice religion, and freedom of the press. Many of these freedoms may be familiar to you. As the United States has grown and changed, so have some of the rights of its people. One example of this type of change was the ending of slavery. Another was helping women become equal citizens to men by giving them the right to vote. Most of these changes are well known by American citizens. However, many people do not realize that changes had to be made to the Civil Rights Act to gain equality for both male and female athletes in public schools. In 1972, the United States Congress passed what is known as Title IX, and that's written as IX in Roman numerals, Title IX. It took several years before changes would begin, and Title IX was not implemented until 1978. What is Title IX? This federal change required all schools that received any type of funding from the national government for their sports programs, including universities, to make sure their funds were spent equally on both male and female sports. Why was this necessary? Before 1978, many schools did not offer equal opportunities in athletics to their female students. Discrimination against female athletes was evident before the change in 1978. Many females could not find a sport to participate in while in high school or college. Those who could often saw the funds being spent on the male students, leaving the female athletes with inferior, that means lesser, equipment and facilities. Title IX effectively ended discrimination against female athletes and helped ensure equal rights for all sports teams.